So welcome everybody, good morning and good Friday to everybody. We're here to talk about some opportunities that we have for the city, because right now our city and our country are dealing with multiple challenges at once, including the COVID-19 pandemic and an economic downturn. In addition to that, the threat to public health. These crises have dealt a huge blow to our economy, and the lost jobs and opportunities mean that more Louisvillians, unfortunately, are having trouble paying rent and covering other basic expenses. This is one of the reasons why it's really important today, coming soon, Washington, D.C., the U.S. Senate, U.S. House are negotiating on the next relief package for American citizens. It is just vitally important that they get that work done so that the funds can start flowing once again back into cities so people can take care of their basic needs that have arisen because of this pandemic. We've got to acknowledge that all these issues overlap with the third crisis that we're facing, and that is the call for racial justice and equity in our country and certainly in our city as well. Because as so often what happens is these crises come together to hit our most vulnerable residents the hardest, have throughout the history of the world. And unfortunately, in America, that's particularly hard on our communities of color. With COVID-19, on the health impact, we're seeing disproportionate infection rates with our Hispanic community. We're seeing disproportionate death rates with our black community. And you're seeing that all over the country as well. More disproportionate nationally than what we have here, but it is still disproportionate, and it should not be that way. The jobs and business losses from the COVID-19 recession have hit every demographic, but have, as usual, resulted in higher unemployment rates in our black and Latinx communities. That is unacceptable for us as a country, as a city that values everybody the same. So we have to take whatever steps that we can take to help all of the people in our city, and that's what we're doing. So today I'm announcing some vital resources that Metro government and community partners have put together to help prevent evictions and strengthen households. The reality is that evictions are a no-win situation. I mean, think about that. It's obviously super traumatic on the renter and the family that's involved. It's a bad deal for the landlord as well. They don't want to lose somebody that's paying rent. And it's a loss for the community because we all benefit when everybody has housing security. This is the most basic need that people have, along with food, is to make sure that you've got a roof over your head. And when you lose that, everything starts falling apart. Your ability to get to a job on a dependable basis. If you have kids, how do they do homework? What's the trauma that's associated with that? It's just a basic need that we have to do everything that we can to make sure that people have secure housing. Now, there's a lot of work being done by our team and partner organizations to keep families safe and secure in their homes. Today, we're here to share some vital assistance and resources, including the fact that we've made more than $21 million available through the Federal CARES Act to Jefferson County residents who need help paying rent. And there's a lot more need than $21 million. And again, I go back to what's happening in Washington today and how important that is that this next package comes out so we can help people stay in their homes. The Eviction Prevention COVID-19 Relief Fund is designed to aid low to moderate income households that are behind on rent payments as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Think about this pandemic. Nobody caused this to happen. It is like a natural disaster. And when there's a natural disaster, the federal government comes in and helps communities get through that. That's what we're seeing here with this eviction prevention effort, but we need more. We need more resources to do, but we will work with what we have. And this program will pay up to 3 months of rent for approved households. Our dedicated and compassionate team at the Louisville Metro Office of Resilience and Community Services is administering the assistance for individual households. And our team at Louisville Metro Office of Housing, which is part of Develop Louisville, they're administering the portion of this program in which landlords of federal, state, or locally subsidized units can apply for aid on behalf of their tenants. We wanted to include this avenue for assistance because we know that landlords have to meet their own financial obligations as well, such as payroll for property managers, maintenance staff, upkeep, other expenses, and most landlords have a note or a loan on this, and they've got to pay their monthly loan amount as well. So this collaboration of community partners has been gathering eviction prevention resources and making them easily accessible. And a one-stop website has been launched called stopmyeviction.org, stopmyeviction.org. To provide more detail, first I want to welcome Tamika Laird. Tamika is the Director of the Office of Resilience and Community Services. Tamika will share information about how both tenants and landlords can apply for the Eviction Prevention COVID-19 Relief Fund. Tamika?
Thank you, Mayor. I told you this is horrible, the mask situation. I'm trying to work and coordinate. As you can see, I'm not coordinated whatsoever. So first of all, I want to thank the mayor and the council. I'm proud to be a part of this initiative and proud to serve as the director for the agency that works year-round to prevent homelessness and to build household stability. The Office of Resilience and Community Services also serves as the community action agency for Jefferson County, part of the network of over 1,000 poverty-fighting agencies nationwide. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought a light of the value of housing. It has reminded all of us how important it is to have a safe place that we can stay healthy at home. We at RCS are honored to administer a number of programs that help aid families through these challenging times. Today, the focus is on the Eviction Prevention Assistance Program, made possible by the Federal CARES Act funding. The Eviction Prevention COVID-19 Relief Funds assist low to moderate income households that are delinquent or rent payments as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The program will pay up to 3 months, and I want to repeat that, up to 3 months of rent for households facing COVID-related delinquencies. Income-eligible households up to 80% AMI, that is area median income, who have a pending court eviction or a past due notice from their landlord are encouraged to apply. You can schedule an appointment via automatic scheduler, and one of our staff members located at the Neighborhood Place site will assess the eligibility. They will call you back and assess your eligibility. We are serving clients remotely in accordance with the COVID-19 CDC guidelines. Funds for rental assistance will be paid directly to the landlord. I bet you're asking right now, how do I apply? You can call 502-977-6636. Let me repeat that, 977-6636, or visit online at evictionprevention.itfrontdesk.com. Landlords of federal, state, and locally subsidized units may also apply on behalf of multiple tenants. Our colleagues at Louisville Metro Office of Housing, part of Develop Louisville, are administering this portion. To find out more information about how to apply, search for the Eviction Prevention Assistance at louisvilleky.gov. Please spell out louisvilleky.gov. Or visit stopmyeviction.org. Stopmyeviction.org. I also want to share that RCS is also administering the LAHEAP Summer Cooling Program to assist with your utility expenses. LAHEAP stands for Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. We're offering two components, subsidy and crisis. To assist with the electric costs, households must meet eligibility requirements with household income of 60% Kentucky median income. And I bet you're asking, how do I apply? Jefferson County residents meeting income eligibility may call 502-991-8391. Let me repeat that. Area code 502-991-8391. Or visit at louisvilleky.cascheduler.com. RCS is committed to continuing working alongside Develop Louisville, legal aid, and other stakeholders within the Eviction Prevention Task Force to reduce evictions and prevent homelessness. We are a resilient city, and we can build back together. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tamika. Appreciate that. I want to thank everybody at RCS and the Office of Housing. RCS has been really busy. They have been one of the administrators of the One Louisville Relief Fund, where the community raised more than $11 million to help people during COVID. And we've helped 7,000? And we've been able to help over 7,000 individuals as a result of this community benefit that's been given from people that have just given from their own funds. So again, helping families get through the crisis in this time of this pandemic, which hopefully is a once-in-a-lifetime crisis. This has just really turned things upside down. And when you're in that kind of spot, frequently you just don't know what to do. I mean, it can be overwhelming to think that you're going to be kicked out of the place that you live. You might be receiving some correspondence from your landlord that you might have difficult understanding. And so the question is, where can you turn to get help? So RCS is one place, but another one of our partners is the Legal Aid Society that can help people work through the legal issues associated with evictions and other activities of concern in our communities. So the Legal Aid Society is one of our partners listed on the Stop My Eviction website. They're providing free legal advice for tenants, which is a huge, huge aid to them. John, I want to thank you guys for continuing to do that. Of course, you've been doing it for decades, and it's been a huge service to our city and the country as well. So representing the Legal Aid Society is a longtime attorney, John Young. John is also a member of the Eviction Prevention Task Force and just a fantastic citizen. Please welcome John Young.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for having me here today, speaking on behalf of the Legal Aid Society. Thank you to the Office of Resiliency and Community Services also for having me and for all the work that you do. At Legal Aid, we are committed to preventing homelessness. We know that it all starts with the home, that if home is stable, then mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, that they can keep a job, and that helps kids get better outcomes in school and health. So we know that the home it all starts there, and that's the most important place. I want to thank the mayor and the Metro Council for committing $21 million to keeping families stable and healthy. This is a huge commitment for our community. So to get help, all right, like Tamika said, like the mayor said, you can go to stopmyeviction.org, okay, or you can call 211, okay? So those are simple steps that one can take to get rental assistance. You must have had a loss due to COVID-19, all right? So if you've lost your job, if you've had to go home because you've lost child care, somebody has to be there to watch your kids, all right? Those are losses due to COVID-19. And you can get, if you've not been able to pay your rent as a result. So go to that website, or if you don't have access to a computer, call 211, okay, to apply for assistance. The stopmyeviction.org, the people staffing the phones there, they have 15 intake coordinators, okay, taking calls and they're going to be working the cases, all right, to get people rental assistance. We know that if somebody's undergoing a crisis, they have about 2 phone calls in them, all right? And that's, you know, if that's you know, the kind of the energy that they have because they're just feeling under so much pressure. And the intake coordinators are going to be working to take it off of their plate and find the resources to get people the rent. I spoke to somebody in Office of Resiliency and Community Services, I think earlier in the week. They said that the average amount being paid is $2,200, okay? With that, if the landlord accepts it, they have to commit to not evicting the person for 60 days, all right? But that's a good deal for the landlord, right? That's a win-win, as the mayor said. Let's see. My message to renters, okay, is don't move. Apply for assistance, all right? And don't lose hope. I checked the Stop My Eviction website, stopmyeviction.org website this morning, and I saw that there's a 24 to 48 hour return time for a phone call. And so make sure, keep your phone on and answer the phone. If it's an unfamiliar number, answer the phone, okay? We have people there that are trying to reach you, okay? My message to landlords is work with us. We are trying to get you paid, okay? You have a renter there. They're feeling scared. They're feeling desperate. I've been talking to these people for 5 months. You know, I think everybody wants to pay their rent, okay? I'll close with, you know, go to stopmyeviction.org, okay, call 211. You can also, if you've had an eviction filed against you, you can contact my office, the Legal Aid Society, okay, call, pardon me, 584-1254. Number again is 584-1254. You can also apply on our website, yourlegalaid.com. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Really appreciate your passion toward housing and helping people at the end of the day. So appreciate all the good work that the Legal Aid Society does. We are really blessed in this community to be the home of the Family Scholar House. The Family Scholar House is, in my view, the national best practice on how to help individuals that have kids that life got off track, securing housing, education for not just them, but their kids as well. And what we've seen just some incredible results in our community of folks that have been Family Scholar House graduates, people that came in, didn't have a degree, get a degree, go on and get a doctorate, become a doctor, become a lawyer. Their kids are thriving in school, and we're just blessed to have the Family Scholar House here in our community. And every mayor I talk to, when they ask, what are some of the best things that you've got going on in your city? I talk about the Family Scholar House because the results just are there. It's incredible what they do. So today, our final speaker is representing one of our outstanding nonprofits, and that, of course, is the Family Scholar House. You probably figured that out. Denise Thomas is the program director for Family Scholar House, and she's going to discuss how they partner with this program and how it benefits their residents. So, Denise.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. First, on behalf of Family Scholar House and the 279 families that live on our residential campuses, I would like to thank the Mayor and Louisville Metro Government for this amazing opportunity. We so appreciate your support during these uncertain times. I simply cannot put into words just how much this opportunity means to us and our families. What I can do is tell you what it means to us and why it matters for our families and the foster alumni who are working so hard to become self-sufficient. What this assistance means is that during this time, when our participants have so many other things to worry about, they do not have to worry about a place for them and their families to live. They do not have to worry about keeping a roof over their heads. What this also means is that they can continue to live within the Family Scholar House community, learn from our program, and benefit from our services as they all work toward their goal of self-sufficiency. Most important, though, is why this matters to the families and foster alumni that we serve, none of which planned for a pandemic, and all of which benefit from household stability during this challenging time. Why this matters is that children can stay in school with their classmates, even though it's an NTI, and adults can stay focused on their educational and career goals. Again, thank you so very much for this opportunity.
All right, thank you, Denise. Thanks to all of our speakers. Please, to the media, thanks for covering this today. Use this in your crawlers as well, especially the stopmyeviction.org would be a way that you could really directly help people here in our community, the Legal Aid Society number. And then I'd like you to also use your crawlers to encourage people to call their U.S. senators here to encourage them to get this deal done between the U.S. Senate and the House so we can get relief money flowing back into our cities for eviction prevention, for supporting city government so that we can keep our services going as well here during this real time of crisis, financial crisis and health crisis here in our city. So with that, we'll be happy to take any questions.
Mr. Mayor, you said that the tenants, property owners can apply for assistance on behalf of tenants?
Yeah, if they are supported with federal, local, or state dollars, and Jeff O'Brien, I don't know if Jeff is here with Develop Louisville, is the conduit to help them do that. I think I see Mary Ellen Wiederwald over here. Marilyn, you want to come up and take the question? I hope I got that right. Close? That's pretty good.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Harris. I'm the Director of the Office of Housing for Louisville Metro Government. And yes, landlords can apply on behalf of their tenants for any property that has received federal, state, or local subsidies, or if a tenant receives a housing choice voucher, a landlord can apply on behalf of that tenant. So that takes one more stress off of the tenants. Landlords should have everything they need to apply with the exception of a certification from the tenant that states they have had a COVID-related loss of some shape, some form or shape. I'm sorry, a COVID-related loss, going back to what John said, would be a loss of income. A person had to stay home because their child couldn't go to school or daycare. So any type of COVID-related loss of income or loss of employment. So even $1, it doesn't, the federal requirement doesn't say how much, so even $1 would be sufficient documentation. And they can self-certify that, which is really great. Yes, so as a part of the process, they have to submit a, it's kind of technical, but they have to submit either a LORA or the deed restriction for the property. And so then we verify the source of funding that was done in the construction, rehab, or acquisition of the property. And as a part of that, every landlord has to do an annual compliance review with whichever entity provided them those funds. So we're just getting a copy of that most recent verification. We are doing a check of the tenants to make sure that they have actually signed that certification. So we're doing some compliance check along the way. And once we have verified all of that, we are cutting those checks directly to the landlords on the tenant's behalf. So the assistance is for the tenants, but it is being paid directly to the landlords. Thank you.
All right, anything else? Yeah, so, Gilbert, is that you?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. I haven't been in person with you.
Well, it's been my loss, man. I tell you. I know it's my. I know. I think it's a loss of talent when we don't get together.
Okay, so there is a stalemate going on between basically what the courts are saying and the governor's executive order. Bottom line, for people who are in the middle of this eviction process, they want to know: will Jefferson County deputies be executing eviction orders in Louisville?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Is anybody? John?
Look, yeah. It's a tough question because I can answer it today and it may change tomorrow, right? Okay, because as we've seen through this pandemic, things are changing very quickly, all right? We had an order that was issued by the Kentucky Supreme Court on July 28th saying evictions for non-payment are going to be starting on August 1. 3 days, right? I think what I remember seeing is that the governor said that we are not going to have the sheriffs execute the writ of possession, all right? Because the eviction process, much like all court processes, involves two branches of government, right? You have the judge, which interprets and applies the law, and then you have the sheriff's office, which is, through the executive branch, which is executing the law. I can tell you that's what the governor is saying right now, but it could change tomorrow, right?
I was asking the mayor what are deputies in Jefferson County going to be doing? Have you had communication with Aubrey, like somebody gets a court order for eviction, are deputies going to be going to people's homes in Louisville and setting their stuff out?
Yeah. I have not had a conversation with him, Gilbert, so I don't want to answer that yes or no because I just don't know.
Do you guys have any idea about the pending evictions? We know that landlords could file again starting August 1st, and we saw on August 1st there were 45 e-files from Louisville. Do you know how many pending evictions are for non-payment are active right now? Now that this window
Anybody? Marilyn?
We don't have that information at this time. We're working on trying to get it, but we don't have that information at this time.
Okay.
We would like to.
All right. Anybody? Yes, sir.
A little off subject, I was asked to ask you about the Metro Corrections. Here there's an increase of cases there. Is there anything being done, or do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, we can refer you to the press event we had yesterday. It can give you more detail on that. But there has been an increase in COVID positives at Metro Corrections, so we're cohorting the folks that are positive in separate dorms over there and have a medical plan to make sure that we reduce that number. To date, we've been pretty fortunate in the jail, but we have seen a spike in cases here in the last several days.
And off-topic question, in relation to the resolution that we saw Metro Council passed yesterday in terms of transparency, resolutions don't really have key ordinances through, but would you be, I guess, you have the ability to create an executive order for the city, for the administration to follow in line with that resolution. Is that something you're considering?
Okay, the resolution specifically for,
Transparency and turning over documents in open records requests.
yeah, what we've said is any document that we can turn over that's not part of any kind of pending litigation, we have done and will continue to do. It's very important that obviously people understand what the facts are, what the data is. Our government is open by default and will continue to be that way.
I think that in the example that they gave me, the stop wasn't involved in pay on me, which was a couple of years ago, and the PSU
Yeah.
investigation still hasn't come out.
Right, that's an area.
So that they're using that as
Okay.
to show the process of how things get locked up as ongoing investigations for very long.
Yeah, there are some of these PSUs that take longer than people want them to take. I understand that as well. That's an area that we're asking Hillard Heinz to look into. Hillard Heinz is doing the top to bottom review of LMPD. We kicked off with them yesterday, so we need to understand why these things take too long when they're doing that, and people understandably want to have information sooner than what they're getting it, and I understand that, and anything we can do to do that, I will support.
Mr. Mayor, how soon might that $21 million begin to be distributed to landlords?
It started effective July 1st.
Okay, we started effective July 1st on that, and there's more demand for it than what's there. All right, thank you all.